First we crack the shell, then we crack the nuts inside.
Hey gang, Spit here. As I'm sure you've already guessed, we are taking a look today at Transformers United, Rumble and Frenzy. Which one's Rumble and which one's Frenzy? Well, I happen to think that's Rumble and that's Frenzy. Deal with it. So this is the box that the figures come in, and as you saw, I picked this set up at BBTS. And, well, I don't speak a lick of Japanese. They do show all of the gimmicks and the modes in this. And it also shows some other figures you can get. There's Wheeljack, Scourge, and Prime. So, alright, here we have Rumble and Frenzy in their robot modes. Now, the first thing I need to let you guys know is, they're a little small. Here they are compared to Universe Hotshot, who is your standard deluxe class size. Rodimus. They're not exactly very big figures, and I'm really glad Takara decided to box them up together. A little expensive, but I think they're worth it. Or I think it's worth buying them together as opposed to separate. It just makes things a little bit easier. And yes, I realize they're repaints of each other. So let's go ahead and get him out of the way. These guys are very well detailed. I mean, they're really well detailed for their size. You got a lot of nice detailing, a lot of nice paintwork. The paintwork, I really can't say more good things about it. The paint is phenomenal. It doesn't feel like it's going to chip off. It doesn't feel like it's going to flake off. It just looks really good, and they're just really, really nice. For the purpose of the review, I'm probably going to concentrate on Rumble over here a little bit more than Frenzy, but that's just because I think this guy shows up better on camera. So, posability-wise, is actually pretty good, considering the ginormous shoulder backpack they've got going here, which is counterbalanced by these heel spurs. So, posability is good forward posability. Leg lifts almost all the way up 90 degrees. Got 90-degree bend in the knee. Unfortunately, the feet do not bend down, they bend forward because of the way the transformation works. Arms are on a shoulder ball joint, so you have a full ball joint rotation there, except for the kibble, which is the guns. The arms are elbowed a little bit lower than you would normally think they would be, and then the hands can collapse in like that. Gimmicks in this mode count. There are 2 gimmicks in this mode. The first of which I will use Frenzy for. Oops, sorry. You pop the guns off of their pegs, which is not exactly easy in some respect. You have to kind of unpeg the shoulders in order to get to the guns, and then the guns will actually peg right into the sides of the arms. Very much like the original Gen 1 figures. So, there we go. Got a couple of little guns going on there, exactly like the Gen 1 figures. And I really enjoy the fact that the guns are on the clip, which the clip pretty much works with anything from the Hunt for the Decepticons line. And the guns are actually on a little bit of a ball joint, so you get a little bit more play with the gun there. I really do like that. So I'm going to put Frenzy off to the side and then show you the other gimmick. So the gimmick is going to be the pile driver gimmick. First thing we're going to do is actually just fold the arms up, then come around here to the backpack and fold and flip them so they reach the sky. Then we're going to take the entire unit here, or the entire arm, and fold it forward. And then the hair trigger are these silver bits on the side. Now, according to the directions, you're supposed to pop the guns off and attach them to those same parts or points or clip-on points that you attached the guns to in robot mode, or in the other form of the robot mode. Oh, and I forgot to mention the head is on a nice little ball joint. I don't know about you, but I like the thought do not care for the execution. I really don't care to make my figures look like hunchbacks, and it's not working for me. Alright, so now that we've taken a look at the figure and its gimmicks, let's go ahead and get to the transformation. This is actually pretty complex for a figure of this size. I'm quite surprised. To start off, we're going to take his chest plate and rotate it completely over his head, and it clears his head just fine. There's no worries there. Next, we're going to make like we're transforming the figure into his gimmick, or his pile driver gimmick. And don't be afraid, when you're doing this, you're going to hit these triggers all the time. So to start, we're going to just unclip the shoulders and swing down the arms so that they're more parallel to the midsection. Next, we're actually going to take what is the crotch area of the figure and the legs and fold them and act like you're folding him over like he's walking on a hunchback. Once you do that, you can fold up the heel spurs, fold the feet forward, clip the feet together. Now this peg is really loose. Then we're going to fold the legs up into the figure, and it's going to be kind of hard to show you, but underneath the chest plate that we folded up earlier are two slots, and there are two tabs on the backs of the heel spurs that you folded up. So you just kind of have to get everything in line and plugged in. Sometimes it just helps to get your fingers in there and just kind of fiddle around. There we go. Now the final part comes with the treads. First thing we're going to do is fold the treads forward, and then take the section that has the robot arm, fold that about 90 degrees in towards the figure, and there are little pegs that peg into the front of the figure. And we'll do that on the other side as well, while completely screwing up, and then peg the two front pieces together. Put the pile drivers back in position, and then just kind of work on the treads so that they're back into position, or into a decent position. Finally, take the guns and unfold them and point them to the front of the tank. And there we go. And here we have both figures in tank mode, and I have to say I really dig the tank modes. I really like these little tank modes. But like the robot modes, they're small. How small? Well, let's bring out Rodimus again. These guys are small. I mean, really small. But just because they're small doesn't mean they're not awesome. I dig these guys. I really dig these vehicle modes. I really think these vehicle modes are something cool. I'm really glad that Takara made these figures. So, do these suckers belong in your collection? Well, you know, if you are a G1 fan, if you are a fan of the original generation of Transformers, then I'm going to have to say yes. But I will tell you to wait for the US release. If you want to get the United figures, I picked them up at BBTS as you saw earlier, but you know, I'm not sure they're totally worth the asking price right now. If you wait a couple of months, there's going to be, I believe it's Rumble is going to be released. I don't know if Frenzy's coming out. I hope he is, but I just don't know if he's going to be coming out. I like these figures, but like I said, the size might be an issue for a lot of folks. I mean, for the price that the United figures are asking, the size is an issue. Not going to lie there. But they're really detailed, they're really good looking, and I'm actually really glad I bought them. And I love the fact that I can have one in tank mode and one in robot mode. The pile drivers, I'm not a fan of, but if I'm going to display them, I'm going to display them with the Rumble, because That's just me. So, should you buy it? Hey, if you really, really dig G1, I would pick him up. Otherwise, I would just wait for the US release.